Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are making some mead and we're going to be using some strawberries as an addition, and I'm going to add on some hops last minute. So first thing, okay, I'm only doing a small batch guys. I'm using only a 2-liter bottle of water. Okay, this is how much we're going to be adding on to our honey. I have 2 bottles here. We roughly have 700 milliliters of honey, so I'm kind of using like 1:4 proportion, but of course you can use 1:3 proportion if you wish. We are using obviously strawberries, which will add on the liquid as well. So it's really straightforward guys, and easy to do. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to pour the honey, okay, into our saucepan. And the idea is that we dilute the honey with water, okay? So we need to warm it up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the honey there so it can just leak out. The kind of thing is, right, guys, with the honey, the more expensive and more complex the honey, the better the end result. However, okay, after experimenting with few, there seems to be a price limit, I would say, to what you choose to make the mead from. If you're suddenly starting to use a really expensive honey, absolutely you'll get far more of the flavors and deeper notes. However, it is super expensive. So I'm kind of settling for a middle range, which I find that yields us quite a good result. Okay, so the honey is out, okay, give or take anyway. Just put the lids on that, we get it here. Right, so next thing guys, I'm going to put this on, okay, and we're going to dilute it in water. I'm not going to put the whole 2 liters in there, because we're just going to, the idea is we'll literally just dissolve it in. I'll probably put half a bottle in. Okay, right, so, and a bit more. So while the honey is dissolving, okay, I have here guys 1 kilo of strawberries. They have been cleaned, they have been washed, and they have been chopped. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put them through a food processor and basically make them into a pulp. Get them in. We want to try to get as much juice out of them as possible, but in this instance I just always lose one. I don't want to boil them or do anything with them for too long. So the idea is we're extracting juice. Let me put this on. Okay, so that was as simple as that. They'll sit here. Some people say, guys, right, that apparently strawberries sometimes add on, the strawberry pips add on a kind of a little bit bitter and weird aftertaste, like a plasticky taste to the final results of wines and ciders. I have done this with the strawberries, I've done ciders with the strawberries, and it seemed to be okay, and I haven't come across that. So maybe it's to do with a variety, I'm not really sure. However, in this instance, I'm not really worried about that, because the complexity really, after adding on the hops and obviously the honey, it should kind of cover up, hopefully, any unpleasant, if there would be any, it will cover it up, basically, hopefully. So it worked before, guys, and I haven't found an issue. So that's what we're sticking with, what we know, okay? Although I do like to experiment. So we are pretty much dissolved. So all I'm going to do, guys, and it's literally, it's super simple. It amazes me sometimes. I'm watching the recipes and people like literally overcomplicate the simplest thing. Brew, and I keep telling you guys, it's so simple. It really needn't to be complicated. So long as you follow the recipes, follow the procedures of disinfecting things, make sure things are properly clean and nice and properly done, then it's not a problem, okay? So we're pretty much dissolved. So I'm taking this off now. We're adding on our pulp into there. Just okay. Some people choose to strain, as I said before, and add on juice, but I am adding all of it. And I can deal with that later. Right, let's give it a couple of minutes. So guys, okay, it's simmered a tiny bit, so that's absolutely enough for what I want. I'm going to now turn it off. Okay. And we're going to let it cool down just a tiny bit. Let me get this cleared off, and I'll show you in a second. So we are now ready for our next step. And again, could not be simpler, guys, okay? So we have the remainder of our 2-liter bottle, okay? The water goes in. I'm going to put some in there. Okay. I'm going to add on just to cool that down slightly. Okay, next we are going to pour our lovely, wonderful liquid into the 5 litre John. Okay. Okay, right. We're almost there. So I'm now, guys, for the ease of things, going to pitch the yeast now, and I'm using Lalvin EC 1118, which is the sparkling wine yeast. Sprinkling this now, guys, just to make it easier for me to get it in the carboy, okay? So, sprinkle this in. Just mix it up a little bit. See, if I did this in a bucket, it'll be easier because you just sprinkle it afterwards, but I just want to make sure it goes in. All right, so the rest goes in. Here we are. Okay, luckily there's actually quite a few bit of strawberry bits left behind. Not strawberry bits, but strawberry seeds. So it'll minimize the potential for any more plasticky smells and tastes. Okay, so that's that. Literally, we're in here now. We are bushing in our airlock in a minute. Do you know what, guys? Again, I'm doing this time and time again. I want to do this before, okay? Before adding on the yeast, okay? It's just because I just got interrupted, but my baby. Right, okay. Let's see if that's enough. I'll add it on. Okay. It's floating. Move that aside, guys. Right, okay. So, let's see where we're at. I think it's 1.70. Okay, so there, that's where we are. So literally now, guys, I'm going to put the airlock in, and it's going to go in a warm place for a few weeks. So I'm going to show you through when the process is, because we're probably going to transfer this again before racking it totally. So I shall see you in a couple of weeks. So guys, here we are, a couple of weeks, and this is what our strawberry mead looks like. Okay, it is a time, it's been uberly hot, so it is a time now to rack it off, and I'm going to transfer this to my second fermenter, and we're going to be adding on literally a handful of dried hops. I've done a video on harvesting and drying my own hops, which I'll put the link somewhere up there. And again, the simple process is, guys, we're going to add on the hops first into the disinfectant container, right? And next thing, we're going to siphon that out. Unfortunately, my attachment for the siphon doesn't fit throughout there, because I really wanted to avoid as much as possible of getting any of the goo out. So unfortunately, I just have to go without, and we might have to rack it in one more time. So bucket goes on there. Excuse me. I don't like doing this on camera because it's awkward anyway. And basically, let's just get this in. Pump a couple of times. It smells absolutely amazing already. So here it goes. So that's going to transfer into our second fermenter. And the idea is, guys, we're dry hopping, is that we want to get just the aromas of hops, just ever so slightly. I don't want to have any bitterness, because obviously it's not a beer, it is a wine. And on the top of that, we obviously got strawberries in there as well. So it's kind of a sweet, enjoyable drink rather than sort of bitter beer, really, if that's to put it in the simple terms, guys. Anyway, so let me get this transferred, and I'll show you what we have then. So there we have a little basket now. So we have just over 2 litres. It's fine, guys. There's quite a lot of it still left in there, but it's too much goo in there. I appreciate it could be a little bit waste, but you can transfer into different container and then strain this, but I normally kind of lazy like that. So I'm just going to leave it in there. So the next step is, guys, we're just going to put the lid on. They're just going to bye-bye hops infuse my mead nicely, and we're going to let it continue to ferment. As you can see, it was nowhere near to be finished, but important part is to add on the hops whilst it's still fermenting. So I've got my airlock in here. Okay, and in it goes for another couple of weeks. See you then. So guys, our hoppy strawberry mead is done, and it smells amazing, guys. Honestly, let me show you. I've started taking some out for you to have a look. It's still a tad cloudy, but look at that colour. Look at that. Okay, and it is amazing. It's sat for extra couple of weeks with the fresh hops, not fresh hops, sorry, with the dry hops in there. They certainly given it that aroma of the dry hops, and we also get a little bit of bitterness, probably because I left them there for a couple of weeks rather than a week. However, that kind of really gives that wine, you know, when you generally drink a nice glass of wine, you have this somewhat after second one or two tastes that come in, one or two flavors, sorry, that's coming afterwards, and you've got sometimes a little bit of sort of that bitterness, and that has that, but at the same time you have this super freshness of the strawberry. And you know, this is like a third beverage I made with the fresh strawberries, and I honestly cannot stress enough how good that fresh strawberry make anything taste. I'm super impressed. So anyway, as you remember, guys, the initial gravity was 1.070, and it's finished on 0.990, which make it 10.5%, which is really good for the wine. So without further ado, because I only done a small batch here, guys, I've got just over 2 litres there. I've got the 2 litre cider bottle ready to go. So all I gotta do is just transfer some, and we put it in to mature for a little while. So guys, I do apologise for the previous small part of the video where I have forgotten to put the microphone, so the sound was a little bit dodgy, so I do apologise about that. So we literally transferred, okay, there's a tiny bit of mank left in there. I always leave a little bit, I just don't want to have all the manky stuff floating around the bottle. If you look at the colour again, now it's in the bottle here. It's got really lovely peachy colour to that. It's absolutely beautiful. I didn't really imagine for it to be turning up as nice as I actually did. Because at some point when I tasted it, sort of tasted quite a bit bitter, but like a little bit more bitter, but it seemed to be settled down a little bit. So I'm literally over the moon, guys. So, you know, I did say to you earlier that I'm going to let it sit there and it's going to mellow a little bit. No, it's not going to sit there. First of all, the bottle is not full, so it's not particularly great for the long-term storage, in my opinion. Anyway, plus I keep tasting it and it just tastes so good. It's so fresh, it's so summery, it's so yummy. So it's just gonna go on the shelf, and I'm gonna drink this within the next, well, probably sometime this week anyway. So I do, guys, hope you really enjoy that. Do certainly give that a go. So surprised that like 4 ingredients with a decent yeast can actually produce something so flavorful and so light and fresh. Is just super amazing. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the recipe. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe maybe if you haven't, and I shall see you in the next brewing adventure. Bye bye.